Hi everyone. So today we have an exciting video with one of my friends, George. George, why don't you give us a little intro about yourself?
Sure. Hey, everyone. My name is George Iliadis. I'm a senior. I go to Newburgh Free Academy in Newburgh, New York. That's like an hour north of the city. I took both the SAT and ACT. I will be attending, actually, I haven't technically committed yet, but I got into Yale University, University of Michigan, Georgia Tech, a local school, as well as University of Pennsylvania's Jerome Fisher M&T Management and Technology program. I'll tell you a little bit about my background with like the SAT and ACT. I took both tests twice. I got a 1470 the first time in the SAT, then a 1580 the second time, and then on the ACT, I got a 34 the first time and a 36 straight through the second time. So I'm here today to tell you about like how I did it and just some things I would recommend.
Sweet. So actually, I'm going to start with our first question about how you can ensure that you hit your optimal score on your next sitting with these tests. So it seems like with both tests, you did a lot better your second time. So what did you do differently?
So honestly, the second time around, I kind of knew what was coming at me. So I kind of knew instead of trying to go through uh, like the traditional SAT study methods that everyone talks about, I just knew since the questions are so repetitive, I'm just going to go straight through and take exams. So I kind of just brute forced it. And I think if you just work on taking the exams themselves, because really it's testing your ability to take an exam and it's a known format. I think if you really focus on the exam itself and taking a bunch of the exam like in a practice situation, I think that will set you up to do well your second or third time around.
Awesome, thanks. So like what resources and materials did you use or where did you find these practice tests?
So I went on Reddit. There's a lot of stuff on Reddit. If you go to like Reddit ACT or Reddit SAT, you'll find a lot of like resources for like just whole folders full of tests. So I just like hit those. I did a lot of yeah, I just did tests off of Reddit to be honest with you.
And how many did you take?
I think for the first time around on the SAT, I took like those 8 that come in the book, and I think that was about it. And the second time around, I took like 3 or 4, and then for the ACT, I did like the 4 that came in the practice book, and then like 1 or 2 more off of Reddit before that, because I kind of took my SAT and ACT the second time around, like August of senior year, like this past year. So I took August SAT and then September ACT, so they were like 2 weeks apart. I didn't really have any issues because I kind of just used my prep for the SAT to help me with the ACT that followed like right after it.
Okay, great. So it seems like the SAT and the ACT are pretty similar to you.
Yeah, for me, I would say the ACT has much more straightforward questions. There's just more of them. So if you're able to like work quickly and practice actually taking the ACT for the style of questions, you should be able to get it down pretty nicely.
Sweet. And then what was your study strategy? Like when you took these tests, did you always do them timed? And then after you finished taking the test, how did you correct your answer and make sure that you do better the next time?
So I took them timed, basically, yeah, for all of them. I just did like the time they allow you. And the way I take the tests is like I kind of work quickly through them. So I'll get the whole test done really fast and then I'll spend the rest of the time just checking everything. As far as like correcting wrong answers, I kind of just marked them and then I told myself I'm gonna go see why I got it wrong. And I kind of never did. I figured I really don't want to keep track of all this, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of different types of questions. I thought my time was better spent if I just like took more tests.
Okay, that worked.
I would not recommend that. That worked for me, but I guess like you don't, maybe that's not a good strategy looking back. I mean it worked, but it's not that guaranteed, not that safe.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, so like to share my experience with the ACT, what I did was after I finished taking a test, I would like get mark the ones that I did got wrong, and then I would read the answer explanation. And then I think the more explanations you read, the more of like a pattern recognition you get, and then you just realize that like all of the questions fit under like one of 8 categories, and then you just like kind of pick up on that the next time, and then you know how to pick the right answer. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
mhm.
I didn't really like go that deep into like seeing what the categories were, but I did kind of see that repetitive nature, and I agree 100% with that. It's just like learning the styles of questions.
Right. Okay, cool. So then last question is how did you decide if you were going to take the tests with or without essay?
So I took the SAT the first time around with the essay. I don't really remember what I got either. Like, I don't know, maybe an 18. I'm not too positive on what that number was. And then, like, I heard that they're not really looked at. So I kind of didn't take it on anything else, SAT or ACT after that. So I would say, like, you could take it, but a lot of colleges are taking an emphasis away from the essays.
Mhm.
So honestly, if you really want to just focus on grinding out the multiple choice part and hitting those hard, I would say that's a solid strategy if you're shooting for schools that don't require it. So obviously just go check to see what the school's individual requirements are, and if like a certain school, I think like UCLA does want it. My friend was telling me about, I don't really know. But if your school requires it, then obviously you should take it. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with George. I don't think the essay matters like at all, but do take at least one sitting with the essay. So I did that, and my essay score was literally so bad. It was like 50% of what the full score is. But then I ended up applying to all the UCs, which require the essay, and I applied with
Yeah.
that score, and I got into all of them. So I really don't think the essay
Yeah.
score matters.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Thank you so much, George, for your time.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you.